morning, MIllwatchers. Hope everybody's doing great. It is Sunday, October 16th, 11 a.m. I hope you're all feeling fantastic. I'm Johnny MIllwater. I'm your host for this morning. Hope you're in for a good time. Remember, you can always comment in the chat. I'll be singing some songs. I'll be reading some poems, doing some Shakespeare, a few things like that. So hope you get involved. I always like to start by warming up, doing some vocal exercises. So sing along with me if you know the words. We'll start with red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Hit that L hard. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. The D too is important. Red leather, yellow leather. Also the R and the E and L-E-A-T-H. Red leather, yellow leather. But that last E is silent. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Toy boat. Toy boat, 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 toy boat. Black bug. The black bug bled black blood. The black bug bled black blood. Black bug bled black blood. The black bug bled black blood. Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York. Gotta get that air going. Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique Unique New York. Oh, I got hubrisy. Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York. And let's do, what to do tonight today, at a minute or two to two, a thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do. For they'll beat a tattoo at 20 to 2, a rat-a-tat-tat, tat-a-tattoo, and the dragon will come when he hears the drum. At a minute or two to two today, at a minute or two to two. Let's do the announcer's test. One hen, two ducks. One hen, two ducks, three squawking geese. One hen, two ducks, three squawking geese, four corpulent porpoises. One hen, two ducks, three squawking geese, four corpulent porpoises, five limerick oysters. One hen, two ducks, three squawking geese, four corpulent porpoises, five limerick oysters, six pairs of Don Alfonso's tweezers. One hen, two ducks, three squawking geese, four corpulent porpoises, five limerick oysters, six pairs of Don Alfonso's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonian warriors in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt, 9 apathetic, diabetic, sympathetic old men on roller skates with a marked propensity for procrastination and sloth. And let's do a couple of trills. One more for the tongue. All right, I'm warmed up. Let's check in the chat chalet. This is where it happens, my friends. This is where we do the show. Whatever you type, it shows up over there on the magic screen, and we talk in real time. It's an amazing thing. Of course, if nobody's watching, it's just me and the dog. How you doing there, Vladimir? You all right? A happy dog. Cool. Well, here's how it works. If I have nobody to talk to, or if I run out of things to say to the people I am talking to, I have a tool. I spin the wheel. It's very exciting. I love spinning the wheel. And it just now occurred to me, I could spin the wheel on this page and it would work just fine. But we'll worry about that later. Right now, the wheel has its own page. Watch this. Anything can happen if you spin the wheel, folks. Wisdom, riddles, monologues, jokes, zen tones. What do you need? All the entertainment I have at my disposal, right there. Got poem. All right, let's head on down to the Poetry Pagoda. Nice chill vibe. Poetry Pagoda. Let's do Trees by Joyce Kilmer. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day, lifts her leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, on whose bosom snow has lain, intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me. Only God make it true. All right, I'm warmed up. Let's spin the wheel. Ooh, riddles. Let's head on down to the riddle room. The day before yesterday, I was 21. And next year, I'll be 24. When? My birthday. That question again. The day before yesterday, I was 21. And next year, I will be 24. When is my birthday? Just type it in the chat. If you typed, my birthday is December 31st, and today is January 1st, you win! Riddles are a delight. All right, let's head on back. Spin the wheel. Already getting glitchy, my wheel. Come on, wheel, you can do it. Monologue! I love doing monologues. Let's head to the theater. I do both comedy and serious monologues, depending on the mood I'm in. My favorite monologues to do right now are monologues written by the Kids in the Hall, a wonderful Canadian sketch comedy show in the 90s. So this is A Letter to a Friend in Hospital by Dave Foley. Once again, I didn't write this. Dave Foley wrote this. Hope you enjoy it. Hi, just writing a letter to someone in hospital. You know, it's always kind of hard to find the right words to say, you know? Somehow, how's the weather in hospital? Sure is nice outside. Just doesn't work. So you got to try, you know, you got to show your concern. So here's what I got so far. Dear guy, I clotheslined as you went by on your bicycle. You don't know me, but I'm the guy who broke your collarbone. Now, I've asked myself over and over, why did I clothesline that guy? Perhaps I watched too much slapstick as a kid and expected you to get up after being violently assaulted. Imagine my confusion when you did not, although not so confused that I'd actually hang around. In all fairness, it was pretty funny. I mean, the last thing you'd expect as you were riding merrily by on your bike is that someone you didn't know at all would stick out his arm and crush your throat. I mean, you really should have seen it. It was like, wham! Anyway, in closing, as you lay there convalescing in your hospital bed, I'm forced to wonder, what were you riding your bike for on a sidewalk anyway, huh? You jerk? Sidewalk? Maybe sometimes we bring heartache upon ourselves. Signed, the guy who collapsed your trachea. That's by Dave Foley. He's very, very funny. Let's spin the wheel. Monologue. Wow, 2 in a row. Well, luckily I love doing it. Let's do the monologue. Wrong button. Looks like we're doing a poem. Changed my mind. Monologue. I would like to do A Communist Threat by Mark McKinney, also of the Kids in the Hall. Let sleeping dogs lie. I say no! And you know what sleeping dogs I'm referring to, don't you? No? Hell, let me refresh your memory. Russians! That's right, Russians, Ruskies, communists, communists. Oh, now you remember. You also remember how a few years ago all we ever talked about was how the Russians were going to take over the world and how every household would be run by communists and their filthy communism. Oh yeah, we feared the Russians back in them days, and for good reasons too. But now all I ever hear is, poor little Russia, they got no money. Poor little Russia, they've gone broke. Poor little Russia this and poor little Russia that. Don't you get it? Am I the only one who gets it? It's a trick. Communism never dies. Communism is a cancer sleeping, awaiting the moment to devour our freedom, devour our democracy. Oh, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this guy's just some right-wing paranoid reactionary who had a horrible upbringing and whose father beat him every day with the Bible. Well, maybe that's true, but it never did me any harm. All I'm saying is, a few years ago, people used to listen to me. I fit in. But listen to me now. The Russians, they're going to try and take over the world again. Don't you forget that for 1 second, friend, or else you're going to find yourself lining up for toilet paper in some godless world. There's one more thing I'd like to say. Killer bees! Forgot about them, didn't you? Well, that's just what they want us to do. That's right, the Russian communists, the killer bees, they're like this. So when people say to me, let sleeping dogs lie, I say to them, friends, sleeping dogs, they eventually wake up. Chew out the throat of democracy. Don't you think I don't know what you're up to, Russia? Not bad. How about a nice round of applause for Mark McKinney, everybody? Writer and cast member on Saturday Night Live. Well, the other couple fellows are only writers. Brilliant performer. Several hit shows, I think. Spin the wheel. Oh, let's see. What's it say? Shakespeare. I love doing Shakespeare. Let's head on down to the Shakespeare stage. Now, those of you in the know that I've been making my way through Shakespeare's sonnets. He wrote over 150 of them, and I believe we are currently on sonnet number, Roman numerals, always tricky, let's do it together, XCV, which I believe is the 100 and minus 95. Okay, I think that's 95. Sonnet 95. How sweet and lovely dost thou make the shame which, like a canker, the fragrant rose, doth spot the beauty of thy budding name. Oh, in what sweets dost thou thy sins enclose, that tongue that tells the story of thy days, making lascivious comments on thy sport, cannot dispraise, but in a kind of praise, naming thy name blessings, an ill report. Oh, what a mention have those vices got, which for their habilitation chose out thee, where beauty's veil doth cover every blot, and all things turn to fair that eyes can see. Take heed, dear heart, this large privilege. The hardest knife ill used doth lose its edge. How about a nice round of applause? William Shakespeare, everybody. Huh? Still hanging in there after all these years. I like it too. Spin the wheel. Hope it's a song. I like singing. Feelings. All right, then. Let's head on to the chat, shall we? That's down there. Feelings. Let's see. I can tell you what I've been feeling this week and what I'm feeling right now. I'm always a little disappointed most people aren't watching, but I'm starting to make peace with the fact that the stuff I like is not stuff that other people likes. So I'm trying to find my people one at a time. There's got to be people out there who are my kind of crazy and love this crap as much as I do. I will find them, and I will join them every Sunday at 11 o'clock. But let's see, besides that, things are going well. I did an open mic this week on Tuesday, pretty good. I did it Starlight. A Tuesday night means Starlight here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And had a great show, wonderful turnout, good set. And we had a nice writing group beforehand, which is nice. We got a couple new faces. Writing group here today, too. That'll be fun. Let's see, the rest of the week, we just got ready for, my in-laws came to visit. I'm very lucky in that not only do I love my wife, I also love my in-laws. They're wonderful people. I feel like I'm 10 years old when they're around. I'm always, not because they mistreat me in any way, but just because my own little psychological need to be smaller than other people, I think. It's the only time, like my dad just feels like a guy I know now, but the only time I feel like I need to be on my best behavior is when I'm around the in-laws. But they're lovely, lovely people. We went to a corn maze, or as the Indians call it, little big waste of time. Hi, everybody. I wrote that joke in the corn maze. Here's what corn maze is. There's corn, right? And then you get lost in it on purpose, and then if you don't die, you win. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's fun. It was nice. We got to ride on a hayride. It was my in-laws' very first hayride. We had a fire, which I love. I always love a good fire. And my in-laws, this is true, my in-laws, who I believe are 175 and 200 years old respectively, have never had a s'more till last week. Never had a s'more. So, oh, hey. Looks like we got somebody in the chat room. That's nice to see. Andrew, you do. Don't worry about those that do not get it. Oh, that's all right. Like I said, one at a time. I'll find them. Good to see you, Brother Andrew. How you holding up? How's Sally doing? Andrew is my brother. So far, the main viewers of this show have been my immediate family, and I'm thrilled to see them writing. Andrew is living with my dad down in Tampa, Florida, and keeping him safe, which is wonderful. Man, I miss them both very much. I usually call Dad after this, so I'll call him a little bit. How you doing up there, Andy? You all right? Dad said you were out of town for a little bit. Well, that's right. Type whatever you want. That's how it works. You type, I sing, I come back. I was talking about feelings. Anyway, I can't talk about feelings to my brother. He's my brother's, what do you call it, a man. You know how men used to be men? Like they would grow mustaches and then they would punch people for saying mean things and they would defend the country. You know, men. We've never been decided. I'm what do you call, mamby-pamby wuss girl, I believe was the term. Mamby-pamby wuss girl. So my brother and I, while we love each other, we don't have much in common that we talk about. Too bad, though. We'll find something. Dad and I at least can talk about English comedy. It is all good. I'm glad to see you, Andrew. Thanks for sticking your head in. I appreciate the encouragement. That's fun. All right, so other than that, feelings are great. It was wonderful to see my family. I'm excited about writing. Sally is fine and spoiled, as she should be. The older I get, the more I think dogs are the answer to the whole thing. I love my dog. All right. Well, let's spin the wheel, see what happens. Unless you got a request. I'm sure, what could you possibly request? I'm so happy you're here, Andrew. You're the last person I expected to tune in. Thanks for checking it out, buddy. That's it. So that's all your choices right there. If there's anything on the menu that you'd like to see, hey, a movie. Why not? So you'll like this, Andy. This is a show I did. Let's go to the movie house.
This guy, he's done a couple things. He's been around the block. He has opened for Jeff Dunham, you know, Jeff Fafa, yeah, Jim Gaffigan, and the Muppets. What? Where do you go from the Muppets? Here. Oh! That's right here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is his 20th year in celebration, of course, performing from the United States of America, Johnny MIllwater.
You guys just relax and stare at me like I'm dating your daughter. Hi! Thank you so much for coming. Do me a favor. Join me in giving a huge round of applause. Oh, so much fun. I say this every night, but it's such a pleasure to be here. I love doing this show because I actually watch the show when I'm not on stage. I absolutely love dance because I think it's as close as human beings can get to beauty. But I do stand-up, and it's not. I don't do beauty. That's why I'm in the suit. It's because I don't look like this. You want to feel fat? You share a dressing room with these people. They're doing handstands and whatnot. I'm back there getting out of the chair, sounding like an otter, giving birth to an animal that's not an otter. And the suit, this is why I'm wearing the suit, by the way. It's not because I think I'm cool or I'm fancy. It's because I know I'm fat, I'm sweaty, and my body makes people sad. So... But I appreciate all of you being here tonight. It's such a pleasure to be playing in Charlotte. I love Charlotte, North Carolina. This is where I live. I grew up in Tampa, Florida. Anybody ever been to Tampa? Yeah! Anybody ever been back? Because it's awful. It's like a Walmart on the surface of the sun. You know what they call people from Tampa? They call us Tampans. I don't care for that. Makes people think we're stuck up. We're warming up now. So now I live here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I love living in the South. I love the people. I love the weather. And I do truly believe that the South will rise again. It will. But when it does, its national anthem is going to be in Spanish. It's not a joke. But I love living here. The only thing I don't like when I'm living in the South, honestly, there's one thing. I can't get a decent chicken sandwich on Sundays because I'm too stupid to remember that Chick-fil-A is closed. Every Sunday, I can't get it into my head. How long do I have to spend in that drive-thru feeling stupid? This Chick-fil-A is closed on... Okay, a couple blank stares out there. Maybe you folks are too upper class for the fast food. Maybe you're visiting from a land without Chick-fil-A. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Welcome and check it out. Chick-fil-A is a restaurant we have in the United States, mostly in the South, where they make delicious chicken sandwiches with not one, but 2 pickles. Because you deserve it. That's right. 2 pickles. That's it. No lettuce, no tomato, no sauce, no onions. 2 pickles. Shut up. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And they have an advanced ketchup distribution system, and they have a delicious potato product that's crunchy and yummy. They call them waffle fries, but they shouldn't call them waffle fries because they have nothing in common with waffles. They don't look like waffles, they don't taste like waffles, they don't smell like waffles, they don't feel like waffles. They sound like waffles, but so does the Statue of Liberty. They look like somebody gave a switchblade and a potato to Salvador Dali and said, "Go nuts!" Salvador Dali's a surrealist painter. And very good. You gotta Google. And they have excellent customer service, and they hate gay people, and there's a slide for the kids. And that's Chick-fil-A. That's what you need to know. I like to eat there. I disagree with their politics, but I like their food, so I eat there. Unless it's Sunday, and they're closed. And obviously they're closed on Sundays because God hates chicken. That's exactly right. So it is written in Leviticus 11:24, all fowl that fall upon the earth. God hates chicken. That's why he calls them fowl, because God hates chicken. That is why he gave them wings, but denied them the gift of flight. Because in the eyes of the Almighty, chicken is an abomination, and that is why we hide eggs on Easter morning. God didn't hate chicken, he wouldn't have taught cows how to spell. Even poorly. Closed on Sundays. What is this, 1774? Are you trying to tell me? I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't be allowed to, I respect the religion and everything, but you telling me Chick-fil-A can't find a Jew to make chicken sandwiches 1 day a week? A straight Jew, fine. A straight Jewish person make chicken sandwiches 1 day a week. As far as I'm concerned, that's what makes America great. We've got everybody, so we can all do our thing. Jews rest on Saturdays. Christians rest on Sundays. Muslims rest on Fridays. Buddhists and Hindus rest whenever they get tired. Agnostics? Who knows? Atheists get nothing. Back to work, heathens. No rest for the wicked. Yeah, that Chick-fil-A joke took a weird turn, didn't it? That was exciting, wasn't it? Didn't see that coming. Gotta keep you guessing. Oh, you guys are amazing. I only got a little bit of time to play with you tonight. I'm going to come back out again a little bit later, but I'd like to share something with you. Something I've been working on. As Rachel mentioned, it's my 20th anniversary in show business, and I wanted to celebrate. Thank you very much. But you can probably tell by looking. What's that? Retired. My kid's here, so I can't curse at you, but I'm sure you can imagine what I'm thinking to myself. That more than you know, random lady. I don't know who you are, but that's going to take me a good week to shake off. And some medication. So thank you for that. That felt good. Don't talk anymore. You just understood the whole thing. If you get bored, I see you got your phone out there. I want you to look up the word monologue. It's important. Pay special attention to the Latin root of mono. Anywho, 20 years in show business, so I thought, it's my first heckler, who'd have thought? But I wanted to celebrate. You can probably tell by looking at me, I'm a song and dance man at heart. I'm trapped in the body of a coma patient. So, there's not much dance, but there's a song. I wrote a song, and it's everything I know about the art of stand-up comedy. It's sort of my life story in comedy. It's just a couple minutes long. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. I sincerely hope you enjoy it. But to do it, I'm going to bring out on stage some members of Caroline Kalush's company. Can we have a big round of applause for the dancers coming out right now? I sincerely hope you enjoy. It's called Modern Day Comedian. It's based on a song from Pirates of Penzance. Enjoy. May I please have Modern Day Comedian? Feel free to take pictures and video of this as much as you want, because I'll never get through this again. I am the very model of a modern day comedian. I'm funniest to those of you with IQs higher median. I always tell the truth, so all my stories are relatable. I try to look my best, but that's a subject that's debatable. I've studied all the works of Cosby, Carlin, and Jim Gaffigan. The winner Brian Regan makes me laugh and makes me laugh again. With history of comedy, I'm teeming with a lot of news. With many poignant facts about the false arrest of Lenny Bruce. Lenny Bruce convened in the 1960s and put him in jail for cussing and talking about religion on stage. Now all of us do it. I prize originality, I write my own material about a range of subjects, some mundane and some ethereal. Sure, for those of you possessing IQs higher median, I'm the very model of a modern day comedian. Everybody! On the road since I was 17. I write a lot of jokes and all the jokes I write are evergreen. I tried my hands at performance of every known variety. In fact, I worked so hard I had a heart attack at 33. That's true. My insecurities are far too numerous to counter you, but rest assured that I've endured an embarrassing night or two. My brain's got more red wires than a 1980s microchip. I overcompensate with my exaggerated showmanship. Body language, facial expressions, smiles, journey, occasionally, not often, jazz hands. Point the towel! I've done my best to like to rest my ego and my vanity, and think forward with the pockets of question my sanity. Sure, for those of you possessing IQs higher median, I'm the very model of a modern day comedian. Only 8 more minutes! My point of view is merely of the absurd and observational. My writing style is far more precise than conversational. I equally offend both the religious and the secular, and I can tell on sight a harmless drunkard from a heckler. Acting purposes and street jokes, I am far more variac. In business matters, I have more horse sense than secretariat. I never pick on the front row because I love my audience. Thank you so much for being here. I'm not ashamed to pander when I want to cheap audience. How many round of applause for all the hardworking people here? Next stage crew, the dancers, and the United States of America! I understand the difference between sarcasm and irony, and after every show I secretly hope they don't fire me. Sure, for those of you possessing IQs higher median, I'm the very model of a modern day comedian! Thank you very much, everybody!
Rouge, everybody. How about that? That's real show business right there. Very, very nice. Let's go to the chat chalet. Big news, while the video was playing, both my brother and my dad have been here in the stream today, so hello to you both if you're still hung in there after the video. Most don't. Redbirds, my buddy Red is back for the 4th week in a row. Thank you for representing Red. I appreciate you. He had a couple of jokes he liked in the show. He liked pay special attention to the Latin root of monologue. I think it might be Greek, but I don't know for sure. I was just trying to sound smart. But I love that video. I missed that bit. It's not particularly funny, but it's super fun. And to see it with the musician, with the dancers, it was just such a rush. such a rush. Well, I think folks might have checked back out. Maybe they'll check back in a little bit later. Let's spin the wheel. Oop, monologue. Let's head on down to the theater. 3 monologues today. I have been in the mood to do a very long piece by George Carlin. This is, find it, The Primitive Sergeant by George Carlin. It's a beautiful piece, but settle in, it's a little bit longer. And I'm going to attempt a New York accent when the time comes, so please forgive me. You know, there was a first time for everything. At some point, every custom, every practice, every ritual had to be explained to people for the first time. It must have been tricky, especially in primitive societies. For instance, the first human sacrifice, not of the enemy, but the first ritual killing of a member of your own tribe. Somebody had to announce it to the people. Somebody with authority, but probably not the top guy. A sergeant, a primitive sergeant addressing a band of early cave people, hunters, gatherers, whatever, explaining the human sacrifice. Of course, first, he'd have to get a few other announcements out of the way. Okay, listen up, you people in the trees. You want to listen? You guys in the bushes, will you put the woman down? All right. Now, is everybody here? Andy, check the caves. Make sure everybody's out here. And Andy, don't wake up the bears, okay? Remember what happened last time. We can't spare any more people. Okay, a few things I want to go over, then I'm going to tell you something new, something we haven't tried before, so I don't want you to be nervous. I know you don't like new things. I remember last year, a lot of people freaked out when someone came up with the wheel. People went nuts. They said, well, this is it. It's all over. It's the end of the world, blah, blah, blah. Then somebody pointed out we didn't have any axles. I think it was Richie. He said if we really wanted to invent something special, we ought to come up with the axle. I guess we're always going to have a couple of wise guys. But anyway, we went ahead and made a couple of hundred of those big stone wheels, which is kind of stupid when you think about it. The only thing you can do with them is roll them down the hill, which isn't such a top-notch idea. I think the people who live at the bottom of the hill will bear me out on that. Okay, moving along here, it has come to my attention that some people have been drawing pictures on the walls of the caves. Pictures of bulls, antelopes, a couple of horses. I think I even seen a goat on one wall. Listen, let me tell you something. Might seem like fun to you, but it looks awful. If you can't keep the place clean, maybe you don't deserve a nice cave. You don't see the bats drawing pictures on the walls, do you? No. They hang upside down, they take a crap, they don't bother anybody. You people don't know when you're well off. Maybe you'd like to go back to living in the trees, huh? Remember that? Remember the trees competing with the baboons and gibbons for hazelnuts and loganberries? Degrading. So there'll be no more drawing on the walls. A couple of thousand years from now, people are going to come here, and the last thing they're going to want to see is a lot of horse pictures on the walls. Continuing on, as some of you might have noticed, last night the fire went out. A couple of guys on guard duty were jacking around, playing grab ass, and one of them, Octavio, the short guy with the bushy hair. Well, one of the short guys with the bushy hair. Anyway, Octavio fell in the fire, and the fire went out. Unfortunately for Octavio, he died in the incident. Unfortunately for us, he was the only one who knew how to light a fire. So, we're going to have a contest. Huh? The first guy to get a fire going and keep it going wins a prize. It's a hat. Nothing fancy, just a regular hat. The kind with the ear laps. All right, next item. We're starting to get some complaints from the women about dating procedures. There's mainly concerns of practice of clubbing the women on the head and dragging them back to the cave by the hair. They would like to discontinue this practice, especially the hair part. It seems that some of them go to a lot of trouble and expense to fix up their hair for a date, and they feel the dragging has a negative effect on their appearance. As far as the clubbing is concerned, they'd like to eliminate that too. Because what happens is a lot of them have an enjoyable date, and then they can't remember it in the morning. Moving right along. As you all know, it's been our practice when we find a new plant that looks good to eat, we test it on the dogs to see if it's poison. Does everybody remember the berries we tested last week on a big brown dog? How many ate the berries simply because the dog didn't die that day? Quite a few. Well, I got bad news. The dog died last night. Apparently, it was a slow-acting poison. Yo, Laszlo, you didn't eat the berries, but you ate the dog. Laszlo, you got about a week. Food chain. How many times do I got to tell you people? Food chain. By the way, anybody who's getting into this new cannibalism crap, I won't mention any names, I'd strongly suggest not eating Laszlo. Or anyone else for that matter. Right now, we got to talk about the hated band of enemy people who live in the Dark Valley. As some of you might know, they snuck into our camp last night and stole a bunch of our stuff. They got those sticks we were saving. They got the rocks piled up near the big tree. And they also took those 16 trinkets, the ones we got in the trade from the friendly bent-over people at the tall mountain near the sun. I think it was them. It was either them or the guys with the really big foreheads down by the river. Anyways, as I recall, we came off a cool 200 animal skins for those trinkets. And frankly, the chief and I think we got screwed. By the way, speaking of screwing, they also stole several of our women last night, along with a couple of those sensitive men we've been using as women. Okay, a new problem has come up that we're going to have to deal with. It concerns the growing menace of people chewing the leaves of the dream plant. It's gotten completely out of hand. At first, it wasn't so bad. After a long day of hunting, a gathering, whatever, people would chew a couple of leaves to relax. Recreational chewing. No harm, no foul. But then some guys couldn't leave it alone. They would chew way too much and lose control. Some of them became verbally abusive. Of course, they couldn't help what they were saying. It wasn't them talking, it was the leaves. But hey, nevertheless, then we found out some people were chewing on a job, not only endangering the lives of their co-hunters or co-gatherers, whatever, but also lowering the amount of food we acquire while somehow, at the same time, greatly increasing the rate of consumption of their own food. One of the gatherers, a short guy with bushy hair, I think his name was Norris, got whacked out of his skull last week on leaves. And he came from the gathering with a grand total, get this, a grand total of 6 berries and 1 nut. And this guy had been in the bushes for 8 days. But now, we're running into an even more serious problem that affects the safety of everyone. It seems that some people are chewing the leaves and then running around in circles in high speeds. As a result, we're starting to get a huge increase in the number of accidents. People are crashing into each other. Please, try to remember, chewing and running around in circles at high speed don't mix. If you're going to run around in circles, don't chew. And if you're going to chew, for God's sakes, don't be running around in circles. Designate someone. So try to be aware of the signs of leaf abuse. If you're chewing in the morning, you got a problem. If you're chewing alone, you got a problem. No disgrace, get some help, say no to leaves. Okay, now, like I said earlier, we got a new thing we're going to be doing, and I want to announce it today. It's going to be a custom. Remember customs? Who can name a custom? Nat, going to sleep at night. Well, that's close, Nat. That's almost like a custom. Who else can name a custom? Killing the animals before we eat them. Okay, actually, Jules, that's more of a necessity, isn't it? More of a necessity. Looking for a custom, another custom. Dwayne, washing the rocks and drying them before you throw them at the enemy during a rock fight. Is that what you've been doing, Dwayne? Really? Well, I guess that would explain the disproportionately high number of rock injuries in your squad, wouldn't it? Anyway, this new custom is something quite different. It might come as something of a surprise to you, so make sure you're sitting down or at least leaning on something firm. You people standing over near the cliff, you might want to drift over this way a little. Now, I want you to remember that no matter what I say, this is going to please the corn god, okay? The new custom is going to help with the corn. You remember a couple years ago we had no corn, we had to eat the trees, and a lot of people died? How many want to go back to eating the trees? Okay? I rest my case. Yeah, Dwayne. Kind of like the trees. You never disappoint me, Dwayne. You know that? Don't have to look hard for a tragic example of abusing the dream plant, do you? All right, here's a new thing we're going to do. It's called a human sacrifice. Each week, to appease the corn god, we're going to kill one member of the tribe. All right, calm down, easy, sit down. Hey, hold on. Hear me out on this, would you? Just relax and hear me out on this. We're going to start having a human sacrifice every week Probably on Saturday night. That's when people seem to loosen up pretty good. So starting next Saturday night, about the time we run out of berry juice, we're going to pick one person, probably a young virgin, and we'll throw her in the volcano. Oh, okay, all right, girls, please sit down. Please stop at the rocks. Calm down, ladies. We're not going to do it today. I promise. Relax. Okay. So we throw the virgin in the volcano. By the way, how many remember the volcano? Remember the fire? Remember the lava? What word comes to mind when we think about the volcano? Hot. Right. The volcano is hot. Was that Dwayne? No way. If this idea is going to work at all, it's got to be done while the volcano is actually erupting. I don't think the corn god's going to be impressed if we throw some chick in a dormant volcano. It's meaningless. I think he's looking for something a little more screaming involved. Okay, so we throw the virgin in the volcano. What's that? How does this help with the corn? Good question. Look, Morley, I just make the announcements. Okay? I'm not involved with policy. It came down from the high priests. That's all you got to know. This is one of those things you just got to accept on faith. It's like that custom we started last year, of cutting off a guy's head to keep him from stealing. At first, it seems severe. Am I right? But you got to admit, seems to work. Okay, one last point. You say, why does it have to be a young virgin? Why can't we throw a wrinkled old man in the volcano? Let me put it this way. You ever get a real good close look at the high priests? Okay, once again, I rest my case. Now, the only problem we anticipate with this new custom is the distinct possibility of running out of virgins. You got to figure, best case scenario, we're not going to see any corn until late next year. So it looks like we're going to be waxing virgins at quite a clip. And hey, girls, don't take this the wrong way, but we don't have that many virgins to begin with, do we? No offense, girls, really. No, hey, very lovely. Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for listening. Good night. Walk home safely. And in case you didn't notice, the sun went down and it's completely dark. There you go. All right, let's head on back to the chat chalet. That's George Carlin. That's The Primitive Sergeant by George Carlin. Ooh, we got some people to write. Let's see. Oh, looks like Lauren's here. Welcome to the party, Lauren. Thanks for coming to the freak show. Lauren says, hey, Johnny, from the Bahamas. Oh, I know Lauren loves to cruise. You're watching me all the way in the Bahamas. That means the world. Thank you very, very much. I've not seen you on stage forever, so all of this is new material for me. Well, thank you. I'm actually working on a new hour, but yeah, that was something I did on the ships all the time, but didn't really do it anywhere else. From the Bahamas. Cruises aren't the same without your comedy show. What a sweet thing to say. Thank you, Lauren. I hope you're having a great time in the Bahamas. Are you in Grand Cayman? Grand Bahama? I don't remember things. Never mind. Hope you're having a great time. You're obviously on the ecstasy. Lauren is a big cruiser. I was a big cruiser too for a lot of time, and I was on the ecstasy months and months and months and months. So let's pour one out to the ecstasy. I have to pour it into my mouth. This is a rented space. Okay. So saying hi, everybody. Specifically wins, stay great writing. Thank you. Noivus. Specificity wins. Now I understand. I don't have glasses, so I get to have this thing. Like, I have glasses, but they show the light, so it looks bad. So anytime I want to read the screen, I got to go in and out like this, which makes me look even crazier than usual. That's fun. Thank you for the kind words. Which ship are you on, Lauren, if you're still watching? Which comedians are there with you? And where are you going tomorrow? All right, let's spin the wheel. Monologue. That's too many monologues. We've already had 4 monologues this show. I love monologues, but man, switch it up. Ask me anything. Oh, this is exciting. I don't even know if there's anybody in the chat chalet. Let's give it a shot. 60 seconds on the clock, my friends. Anything you would like to know about me, about stand-up comedy, whatever you want to talk about. The accent's sticking in there. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever we've been going through, you got 60 seconds. Type it in the chat. I'll answer. Maybe you want to talk about like cooking, right? I'm learning how to cook new things. You like cooking. Maybe you want to talk about OBS animation, stand-up comedy. I like to watch that. Even when I'm not doing it, I like to watch it. I just noticed this little pickup light in the back. I love it. Look at that. That's so cool. Separate me from the background. Nobody cares. 30 seconds on the clock. Ask me anything. This is an exciting time. The tension, the moment. Is anybody going to ask me anything? That's what makes this exciting. And the coffee. It's a combination of the coffee and the excitement. All right. 10 seconds left. This is very, very exciting. And I wasted everybody's time. Let's spin the wheel. I was just telling my wife the other day, I used to do a whole lot of public access. She knew that, but I'm telling you, I used to do a whole lot of public access. And the thing I liked better about public access is at least you could pretend somebody was watching, you know? Here in the show, they got a number up in the corner, so I know exactly how many people. Oh, hey, Troy! My cousin, man, the whole family's checking in. This is great. I never expected this to be a family reunion thing, but I guess you're the ones that care. Thanks for coming in. That's Troy MIllwater, relation. He's my brother's son, my nephew. I think that's how that works out. He's a great guy, lives down in Tampa. I'm not coming back to Tampa for a while. We might come down for Christmas. We might not. I'm trying to get Dad to come up and see us. But as I mentioned in the stand-up set earlier, I don't really enjoy Tampa. I like Dad. I like Andy. But the city and everything that surrounds it, just all trauma for me, so I don't like to go too much. But soon as I can. When are you going to come up to Charlotte, North Carolina? Huh? It's awesome up here. Come see a concert or something. Pick up a lady. I'm assuming that's what you're into based on your Facebook posts. Miss you, cousin, nephew, miss you, nephew. Oh, hey, Red. Hey, oh, wait, there's another question. This is great. If you could ask any comedian, alive or dead, any question, who and what would it be? All right, let's see. I would like to ask George Carlin why he did baseball and football as long as he did. Let's see. Cosby's not dead yet, alive or dead. I'd like to ask Bill Cosby why. Why? He had everything. He earned everything and threw it away with the purest of evil. I would like to know how that happened. Same thing with Louis C.K. What the hell were you thinking, man? I would like to have that conversation. He explains in his special that when he masturbates, he gets lonely. But that sounds like such a joke. Funny. But that sounds like such a joke. There's no real answer there. Let's see. Living or dead. Johnny Carson. I'd like to ask if he was happy. He worked so hard all the time. Curious if he was. Letterman, he wore it on his sleeve that he hated it. I always liked that about him. That's all I could think of. Great question, Red. Thank you very, very much. All right, let's spin the wheel. I might answer that question again later. I like it. Oh, hey, I haven't done one of those yet. Let's head on down to the campfire. Let's see. Let's do Young at Heart by Frank Sinatra. Excuse me. Fairy tale can come true, can happen to you if you're young at heart. For it's hard you will find to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. You can go to extremes with impossible schemes. You can laugh when your dreams fall apart at the seams. And life gets more exciting with each passing day. And love is either in your heart or on its way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, look at all you'll derive out of being alive. Here is the best part. You have a head start if you are among the very young at heart. All right, let's spin the wheel. Ooh. About a 40-second chat delay. Good deal. Sorry about that, my friends. It's a weird feature with Facebook Live. But write whatever you write, and I'll come back to you, I promise. Well, it looks like Red is specifically requesting a sonnet, so let's pretend Shakespeare came up. Making my way through the Shakespeare sonnets. I don't know which one's his favorite yet, but I will soon. We are currently on sonnet number 96. Sonnet 96 by William Shakespeare. Some say thy fault is youth, some wantonness. Some say thy grace is youth and gentle sport. Both grace and faults are loved of more and less. Thou makest false graces that to thee resort. And as on the finger of a throned queen the basest jewel will be well esteemed, so are those errors that in thee are seen to truths translated and for true things deemed. How many lambs might the stern wolf betray, if like a lamb he could his looks translate? If thou wouldst use the strength of all thy state, but do not so, I love thee in such sort as, thou being mine, mine is thy good report. A nice round of applause for our buddy. Still Shakespeare, right? Still making it work. Thanks for the request. I appreciate you getting involved. Spin the wheel. Wisdom! All right, one score of sonnets to go then. I think that's a 20? 20 is the score, right? 4 score and 7, 86. Yes! Wisdom! Let's head on down, lay some wisdom down from on high. Here's one, Dad. Here's one for Dad. A wise son accepts his father's discipline, but a scoffer does not listen to rebuke. That's from the Holy Bible, Proverbs 13:1. Here's one. First, mend yourself, then mend others. I believe that is from Delta Airlines. Don't look for more honor than your learning merits. Good advice, too. That's all. Bible. Hey, here's something similar. This is from the Quran. Whoever receives guidance receives it for his own benefit. Whoever goes astray does so to his own loss. No bearer of burdens bear burden of another. Let's spin the wheel. One score of sonnets to go. Oh, you know the exact number. Man, talk to smart talk. Had to read that twice or 3 times to make sure I get it right. Appreciate you, Red. Joke! Oh, that's fun. All right, it's been a while since a joke came up. Let's go to the theater. A man and her little boy, a woman and her little boy are walking down the beach. Little boy's about 4 or 5. All of a sudden, a big wave crashes on the shore and drags her little boy into the ocean. The woman can't swim and she's terrified, but what she can do is pray. She gets down on her knees and she talks to God. She says, Lord, please, please, do what you can to protect my son. He's all that I have in my life. All of a sudden, I saw the sky open up. A beam of light came down from a cloud. All of a sudden, a dolphin rose from the ocean with the little boy on the back of the dolphin. And at that moment, an albatross came down, picked the boy up, and flew him all the way back, dropped the boy at his mother's feet. Her mother looked at the boy, raised her head and said, he had a hat. Huh? Classic. Like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. He had a hat. Delightful. All right, then. Let's spin the wheel. Wrong button. One score of sonnets to go. Come on, wheel. Don't be like that. Go, 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 go. Zen Cohen. Excellent. Let's head on back to the campfire. As most of you know, Zen koans are teaching tools used in the study of Japanese Buddhism. There are 101 on the list that I like to read from. I am currently on to number 26. This is number 26, Trading Dialogue for Logic. Provided he makes and wins an argument about Buddhism with those who live there, any wandering monk can remain in Zen temple. If he is defeated, he has to move on. In a temple in the northern part of Japan, two brother monks were dwelling together. The elder one was learned, but the younger one was stupid and had but one eye. The wandering monk came and asked for lodging, properly challenging them to a debate about the sublime teaching. The elder brother, tired that day from much studying, told the younger one to take his place. Go and request the dialogue in silence, cautioned. So the young monk, stranger, went to the shrine, sat down. Shortly afterwards, the traveler rose and went in to the elder brother and said, "Your young brother is a wonderful fellow. He defeated me." "Relate the dialogue to me," said the elder one. "Well," explained the traveler, "first I held up one finger, representing Buddha, the enlightened one. So he held up two fingers, signifying Buddha and his teaching. I held up three fingers, representing Buddha, the teaching, and his followers, living the harmonious life. Then he shook his clenched fist in my face, indicating that all three come from one realization. Thus he won, and so I have no right to remain here." With this, the traveler left. "Where is that fellow?" asked the younger one, running to his younger brother. "I understand you won the debate." "Won nothing. I'm going to beat him up." "Tell me the subject of the debate," asked the elder one. "Why, the minute he saw me hold up one finger, insulting me by insinuating I only have one eye. Since he was a stranger, I thought I would be polite to him, so I held up two fingers, congratulating him that he has two eyes. Then the impolite wretch held up three fingers, suggesting that between us we only had three eyes. So I got mad and started to punch him, but he ran out." What a wonderful story. Anything colored by your perception. Delightful. Let's spin the wheel. Come on. Wow. That's a lot of fun. Let's see. Haven't done limericks. Haven't done... Okay, we did the movie. Actually, we've done everything. Great. Other than... Oh, Fred said something. Let's head on back to the chat chalet. That joke about asking God to save her son reminds me of one of the first jokes I heard on the first stand-up comedian I ever heard. Wow. Can you tell me about it? I mean, who was it? I think first stand-up comedian I ever saw in person was my sister Kim, and then she was opening for not Jeff Dunham, but Willie Tyler and Lester, a ventriloquist act in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I don't remember the first joke he ever. I'd love to hear the first joke he ever told. I'll even leave it out of the chat. I tell you what, I'm going to go spin the wheel. You type up the joke. I'll come back. I read the joke. I take the glory. Wait, no, I'm missing the point. We'll figure it out. Let's spin the wheel. Oh, this is fun. Oh, good wisdom. I love reading wisdom. Better keep yourself clean and bright. You are the window through which you must see the world. George Bernard Shaw. Muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. Alan Watts. And Alan Watts also said this: "This is the real secret of life, to be completely engaged with what you are doing in the here and now. Instead of calling it work, realize it is play." That's what I'm doing right now. A little more Alan Watts? You got it. It's like you took a button. I've done that one before. That's my favorite one. In the end, only three things matter: how well we have lived, how well we have loved, how well we have learned to let go. Can't beat that. Let's spin the wheel. Already did the movies. Monologue. Wow. All right, let's do a monologue. I love the monologue. Let's do a short. Shannon's in on Thursday to cover our rand implement. We're going to task off today and prep for him. John, let's give you field 4. You should have covered this ground up in Luxembourg, but you screwed that up. But look, you're still on the hook. Now look, don't overpromise this week, okay? Sell them on the structure. You can talk about it with confidence. Keep it simple. A little something like this, John. Hey, let me walk you through our Donnelly nut spacing and crack system, ride, rimming. Hey, let me walk you through our Donnelly nut spacing and crack system, rim riding grip configuration. Using a field of half-C sprats and brass-fitted nickel slits, our bracketed caps and splay-flexed brace columns bent dampers to dampening hatch depths of 1/2 meter from the damper crown to the spur plinths. How? Hell, we bolstered 12 husk nuts to each girdle jerry, while flex tandems press a task apparatus of 10 vertically composited patch hamplers. Then, pin flam-fastened pan traps at both maiden apexes of the gym joist. Well, something like that, Lakeman. Almost got it. That is really tricky. Let's spin the wheel. Rim riding. Another joke. All right, then let's see if I can think of one. Go to the joke. A Jewish comedian dies and goes to heaven. He's on his way in, and God says, tell you what, before you come in, tell me a joke. The comedian tells him a Holocaust joke. God says, that's not funny. The Jew says, guess you had to be there. All right. Ooh, hey, we got some chat. My buddy Red says he was talking about the first stand-up comedian he had ever heard. The joke that I was telling about the little kid on the beach reminded him of the first joke he ever heard. But his first comic was Max Boyce. I'm not even familiar with Max Boyce. Sounds made up. I love it. The joke is about the Reverend Dorana Roberts. I'll see if I can find the text. I'm not holding out much hope since I couldn't find Pig in the Bath, and that's his most famous. This is exciting. I'm learning stuff about comedy I didn't know, and that's all I really want out of this thing. So way to hold up your end of the chat, Red. Thanks for being there. And anybody who's watching in silence, thanks for watching. Okay, let's spin the wheel. Got to do some more Shakespeare, you're right. Which one is your favorite? Oh, a song. Cool. Let's go to the theater again. Nah, let's go to the campfire for the song. How about Willie the Wandering Gypsy and Me? I don't even need the words for this one. I know this one by heart. 3 fingers whiskey, pleasure's the drinker. Moving does more than the drinking for me. Billy tells me the doers and thinkers say moving's the closest thing to being free. He's rosin his rigging, laid back his wages, is dead set on riding big rodeo. My woman's tight, no overdue baby. Willie keeps yelling, hey gypsy, let's go. Willie is wild as the Texas Blue Northern, bred and rolled from the same makings as me. I reckon we'll ramble till hell freezes over, Willie, the wandering gypsy and me. Now ladies, we surely take of your favors, we surely warn you, we never will be single soul living. Put brand or handle on Willie the wandering gypsy and me. Willie is wild as the Texas blue northern, bred and rolled from the same makings as me. I reckon we'll ramble till hell freezes over, Willie the wandering gypsy and me. That's by Billy Joel Shaver, one of my favorite country music acts. Go back to the chat chalet. Sorry about the ear thing. All right, here we go. Now, Red, he has pointed out that his favorite sonnet is sonnet number 116. It's all the astronomical imagery that I love. All right, we're in the mid-90s. Let's go do a sonnet. They don't get done unless we do them. I like sonnets. You like sonnets. It's just us. Let's go do sonnets. I believe we are on sonnet number XCVII, which I believe is 97. Sonnet 97 by William Shakespeare. Sonnet 97 by William Shakespeare. How like a winter hath my absence been from thee, pleasure of the fleeting year. What freezings have I felt, what dark days seen, what old December's bareness everywhere. And yet this time removed was summer's time, seeming autumn big with rich increase, bearing the wanton burden of the prime, like widowed wombs after their lord's decease. Yet this abundant issue seemed to me but hope of orphans and unfathered fruit. For summer and his pleasures wait on thee, and thou away the very birds are mute. Or if they sing, 'tis with so dull a cheer that leaves look pale, dreading the winter's near. How about a nice round of applause for William Shakespeare, everybody? Huh? Come on now. There it is. I knew we had it in us. Another one? You're crazy. Fine. This is sonnet XCVII, which I believe sonnet 98 by William Shakespeare. From you have I been absent in the spring, when proud-pied April, dressed in all his trim, hath put a spirit of youth in everything that heavy Saturn laughed, leaped. Yet nor the lays of birds, nor the sweet smell of different flowers in odor and in hue, could make me any summer story tell, or from their proud lap pluck them where they grew. Nor did I wonder at the lily's white, nor praise the deep vermilion in the rose. They were but sweet, but figures of delight, drawn after you, pattern of all those. Yet seemed it winter still, and you away as with your shadow, I with these. All right, I think we're at number 99. I want to get to C. There's too many letters. I'm going to do one more. One more. I know it's crazy. Doing one more. This, sonnet 99. Sonnet 99 by William Shakespeare. The forward violet thus did I chide, sweet. Whence didst thou steal my swate that smells, if not from my love's breath? The purple pride which on thy soft cheek for complexion dwells, in my love's veins thou hast too grossly dyed. The lily I condemned for thy hand, and buds of marjoram had stolen thy hair. The roses fearfully on thorns did stand, one blushing shame, another white despair. A third, nor red nor white, had stolen of both to his robbery, had annexed thy breath. But for his theft, pride of all his growth, a vengeful canker eat him up to. More flowers I noted, yet I none could see, but sweet, or color, had stolen from. Come on, applause. There we go. All right, that was fun. 3 sonnets in a row, huh? Who else is doing this kind of entertainment nowadays? Nobody, that's who. Let's go to the chat chalet. No new news. Sonnet 116, all the astronomy imagery that I love. I thought there was more. It turns out there wasn't. You guys are doing great. Let's spin the wheel. Astronomical. monologue. All right then, let's go to the theater. Let's do a short one. Let's do Ricky Roma's monologue, Glengarry Glen Ross. There's cursing in this, so buckle up, okay? All train compartments smell vaguely of shit. It gets so you don't mind it. That's the worst thing I can confess. You know how long it took me to get there? A long time. When you die, you're going to regret the things you don't do. You think you're queer? I'm going to tell you something. We're all queer. You think you're a thief? But what? You get befuddled by a middle-class morality. Get shut of it. Shut it out. You cheated on your wife. You did it. Live with it. You fuck little girls, so be it. There's an absolute morality? Maybe. And then what? You think there is? Then be that thing. Bad people go to hell? I don't think so. If you think that, act that way. Hell exists on earth. Yes. I won't live in it. That's me. You ever take a dump that made you feel like you just slept for 12 hours? Or a piss? A great meal fades in reflection. Everything else gains. You know why? Because it's only food. Shit we eat. It keeps us going, but it's only food. The great fucks you may have had. What do you remember about them? I don't know. For me, I'm saying what it is. It's probably not the orgasm. Some broad's forearm on your neck. Something her eyes did. There was a sound she made. Or me lying in the, I'll tell you, me lying in bed the next day. She brought me cafe au lait. Gives me a cigarette. My balls feel like concrete. Huh? What I'm saying, what is our life? Looking forward or it's looking back. And that's our life. That's it. Where's the moment? What is it that we're afraid of? Loss. What else? The bank closes. We get sick. My wife died on a plane. Stock market collapsed. The house burnt down. What if these happen? None of them. We worry anyway. What does this mean? I'm not secure. How can I be secure? For amassing wealth beyond all measure? No. What's beyond all measure? That's a sickness. That's a trap. There is no measure, only greed. How can we act the right way, we would say, to deal with this? There's a 1 in a million chance that so-and-so will happen. Fuck it, it won't happen to me now. We know that's not the right way, I think. We say the correct way to deal with this is there's a 1 in so-and-so chance this will happen. God protect me, I am powerless. Let it not happen to me. But no, to that I say, there's something else. What is it? It happens as it may, for that is not within our powers. I will deal with it, just as I do today with what draws my concern today. I say this is how we must act. I do those things which seem correct to me today. I trust myself. And if security concerns me, I do that which today I think will make me secure. Every day I do that. When the day arrives that I need a reserve, A, odds are that I have it, and B, the true reserve that I have is the strength that I have of acting each day without fear, according to the dictates of my mind. Stocks, bonds, objects of art, real estate. Now what are they? An opportunity. To what? Make money? Perhaps. To lose money? Perhaps. To indulge and learn about ourselves? Perhaps. So fucking what? What is it? They're an opportunity. That's all. They're an event. A guy comes up to you. You make a call. You send in a brochure. It doesn't matter. There are these properties I'd like for you to see. What does it mean? What want it to mean? Money? If that's what it signifies to you, security, comfort. All it is things that happen to you. That's all it is. How are they different? Some poor newly married guy gets run down by a cab. Some busboy wins the lottery. All it is, it's a carnival. What's special? What draws us? We're all different. Not the same. We are not the same. Glad I met you, James. Glad I met you. I want to show you something. It might mean nothing to you. It might not. I don't know. I don't know anymore. What is this? Florida. Glengarry Highlands. Florida. Florida. Bullshit. Maybe that's true. That's what I said. But look here. What is this? It's a piece of land. I want you to listen to what I'm going to tell you now. Then he sells him land. That's a great script. I love David Mamet. All right, then. Let's check the chat, Chalet. Looks like we got some new information. Ooh, look at this. All right, it's a little bit long, but I get the sense of it from the first verse. I'm going to expand my chat window because there's a lot of information here. There we go. Sonnet 116, Poetry Nook. Probably my favorite. It's a bit long. Oh, I can't get. Poem loves the horoscope. Here we go. I'll copy that. Put that in the window over now. Go up. All right, Red. Loves Horoscope by Richard Creshaw. Hey. Also an opportunity to get high quality postcards. Ooh, wow, I'm gonna have to zoom in on this one. Give me just 1 second. I have to make a couple of quick adjustments. There we go. And we are set to read. Check back. You know what? Let's go to the Poetry Pagoda for this. Found it. It's working. Yay! Poetry Pagoda. This is Love's Horoscope by Richard Creshaw. Love, brave virtue's younger brother, erst hath made my heart a mother. She consults the conscious spheres to calculate her young son's year. She asks if sad or saving powers give omen to his infant hours. She asks each star that then stood by if poor love shall live or die. Ah, my heart, is that the way? Are these the beams that rule thy day? Thou know'st a face in those in whose each look beauty lays ope love's fortune book, on whose fair revolutions wait the obsequious motions of love's fate. Ah, my heart, her eyes and she have taught thee new astrology. How ere love's native hours were set, whatever starry synod met, 'tis in the mercy of her eye, if poor love shall live or die. If those sharp rays putting on points of death did love be gone, though the heavens in council sat to crown an uncontrolled fate, though their best aspects twinned upon the kindest constellation, cast amorous glances on his birth, whispered the confederate earth to pave his paths with all the good that wars the bed of youth and blood. Love has no plea against her eye. Beauty frowns. Love must die. But if her if her milder influence move and gild the hopes, humble love, though heaven's inauspicious eye lay black on love's nativity, though every diamond in Jove's crown fixed his forehead to a frown, her eye a strong appeal can give. Beauty smiles. Love shall live. Oh, if love shall live, oh, where but in her eye, or in her ear, in her breast, or in her breath, shall I hide poor love from death? For in the life aught else can give, love shall die, although he live. For if love shall die, oh, where but in her eye, or in her ear, in her breast, or in her breath, shall I build this funeral nest? While love shall thus entombed lie, love shall live, although he die. Lovely. Let's go back to the chat and read some more. That's probably my favorite. It's a bit long. You can get a sense of it from the first verse. I enjoyed that very much. Felt like there was a lot of spelling errors, but I'm pretty sure that was Old English. Oh, hey, here's some more information. My first tattoo, would I ever be brave enough, would probably be the last stanza of the epitaph on the tomb of Maria Wentworth. Learn from hence, reader, what small trust we owe this world, where virtue must, frail as our flesh, crumble to dust. Powerful words. Bad tattoo. I'm kidding. You do what you want to do. I'm just excited to meet another human being. I thought I was the last human being on earth who didn't have any tattoos. I got melanoma. It's not the same. Yeah. I like that poem a lot, Red. Thanks for sharing that with me, buddy. Glad we were able to figure that out. Love's Horoscope. All right, let's spin the wheel. Man, it's a long text. Even put that. Ask me and just you. It's too much pressure, buddy. I don't want to ask me anything. Come on, Will. Don't be moody. You can do this. Wisdom, that's my favorite. Let's head on down. Lay some wisdom down from on high. When the stories of our life no longer bind us, we discover within them something greater. We discover that within the very limitations of form, of our maleness and femaleness, of our parenthood and our childhood, of gravity on the earth, and the changing of the seasons, is the freedom and harmony we have sought out for so long. Our individual life is an expression of the whole mystery. In it, we can rest in the center of the movement, center of all worlds. That's Jack Cornfield, my favorite book. Another Cornfield? You got it, buddy. The unawakened mind tends to make war against the way things are. To follow a path with heart, we must understand the whole process of making war within ourselves and without, how it begins and how it ends. War's roots are in ignorance. Without understanding, we can easily become frightened by life's fleeting changes, inevitable losses, disappointments, the insecurity, aging, death. Misunderstanding leads us to fight against life, running from pain or grasping at security and pleasures that by their nature can never be satisfied. Thanks, Jack. Here's one more. This is my favorite from Rumi. Being human is a guest house. Every morning is a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Treat each guest honorably. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Greet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. That's Rumi, the Persian poet. Let's go back to the chat, shall we? Oh, Red has a question for me, and thanks for getting involved. Red wants to know, I want to know if you think 8 out of 10 cats or Have I Got News for You type TV shows would translate to an American audience, especially a live audience. Now, I have to be honest, you were kind enough to send me a clip of 8 out of 10 cats. Also, I believe it was a clip of that comedian you were trying to find, the pig thing. I haven't watched them yet because they're on my phone, so I forget by the time the thing's over, and then when I think about it, the phone's hooked up as the cat. I didn't do my job. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't really know. But I think any show can translate if you have the right performers and you have the right environment. Those two things can make anything work. But yeah, I don't know. 8 out of 10 cats. First of all, I think they would save time and money if they reduced it to 4 out of 5 cats. Just take that down by 50%. It's gonna cut your budget in half. I'm just trying to help. What kind of questions would you ask 4 out of 5 cats? I'm trying to imagine. 4 out of 5 cats are probably anti-dog. That's an easy one. 4 out of 5 cats don't like to be made. I got nothing. I'm a dog guy. I'm panicking. I'm going to spin the wheel. Good question. I'm sorry. Wasn't your fault, Red. You did great. Way to represent, buddy. I wish I knew. 8 out of 10 cats. English. Have I got news for you? I'm not familiar with that either. It sounds like it's a news program. Just knows we got enough of those in the country. One last spin of the wheel. This has been a fun one. Thanks for hanging in there, Red. Pretty much nailed the premise of the show. Cool. Poem. So good. I love poetry. Ooh, it's almost season for the Raven. I love doing the Raven. Don't have time. today. That'll be my long piece next time, maybe. Let's do. I have so many choices. A lot of them, some are interesting, some are fun. I want to do Ozymandias. I love Ozymandias, and I haven't done it in a long time. This is Ozymandias by Percy Blythe. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, scattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip, sneer of cold command, tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things. The hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away." Ozymandias. You know what? Let's hear it from Percy Blythe. Game show, we're going back to the chat show later. They are basically game shows, which are really excuses for comedians to ad-lib off each other. Well, that could definitely work in the United States. There's hundreds of shows that are based on just comedians ad-libbing off of each other, and it sounds like a really good time. I will have to check out an episode for next week. And depending on the copyright laws in England, I'll show a clip. I have the technology. Well, folks, we're almost out of time. Thanks for watching, Red. And if there's anybody watching who didn't say hi, last chance. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate you. Thanks for giving me a chance to do this kind of stuff. It's actually a lot of fun for me. Let's go to the close-up. That was the wrong button. But thanks for watching. I'll be back next week. I'm thinking of putting a daytime thing back here instead of a nighttime thing. What do you think? I don't know. Till then, remember, this is fun. Remember, the only way to save this country is for all of us to love one another. So, love yourself. Then love somebody else. And if you can, love everybody. I'm just an old chunk of coal. I'm going to be a diamond someday. I'm going to glow and grow till I'm so blue, perfect. Going to put a smile on everybody's face. I'm going to kneel and pray every day, lest I should become vain along the way. I'm just an old chunk of coal now, Lord, but I'm going to be a diamond someday. I'm going to learn the right words to talk. I'm going to search and find a better way to walk. I'm going to spit and polish my old rough-edged self till I get rid of every single flaw. I'm going to be the world's best friend. I'm going to go around shaking everybody's hand. I'm going to be the cotton-picking rage of the age. I'm going to be a diamond someday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good night. Morning, afternoon. Yeah.